When the opening chords of Mama, I'm Coming Home drifted across Hollywood Boulevard, Ozzy Osbourne suddenly paused inside his black Mercedes. "Hold on," he told his driver. "That's my song." No one could have predicted that this brief, chance meeting between a young boy with a worn guitar and one of rock's most iconic figures would deeply influence both the child's life and the legend's own perspective. Under the intense Los Angeles summer sun, 12-year-old Miguel Rodriguez set his small amplifier on a busy corner of Hollywood Boulevard. His old, scratched red guitar reflected the light, while determination shined even brighter on his face. For 3 months straight, he had stood here every Saturday, using the little he earned to help his family and pay for weekly music lessons. Since his father's death in a workplace accident 2 years ago, music had become more than just a hobby. It was both his refuge and his way forward. With Mama, I'm Coming Home playing in his headphones, Miguel practiced the final run-through. Then he removed the headphones, inhaled deeply, and began to perform. His fingers moved confidently, creating a sound that cut through the boulevard's constant noise. Tourists soon began slowing down to watch. While his technique wasn't flawless, his emotion and focus were unmistakable. Miguel played with his eyes closed, as if each note was a message to his late father. Every sound filled with memory, longing, and hope. At that moment, a sleek Mercedes rolled up to the curb. Inside, Ozzy Osbourne lowered the window, captivated by the song coming from the street. The sincerity and feeling in the boy's playing immediately struck him. Each chord stirred a feeling inside the legendary artist, reminding him of the pure beginnings of his own journey, long before fame, tours, and cameras. "Stop here and wait for me," Ozzy instructed his driver. "I need to meet that kid." He stepped out, his long black leather coat moving slightly with the breeze, gray hair resting on his shoulders. Even from a distance, his unmistakable presence signaled who he was. Wearing his sunglasses, he continued observing the boy, who played with deep emotion, as if expressing a part of himself. As he walked closer, people in the tourist crowd began to recognize him. Soft murmurs spread, phones came out, but no one interrupted. Everyone felt something special was about to happen. Miguel was finishing the last verse, eyes closed. "Mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home." When the final notes lingered, the crowd clapped. Miguel opened his eyes and noticed a man standing in front of him. Sunglasses, long hair, leather jacket. At first, he assumed it was just another visitor on Hollywood Boulevard. Then the man reached out his hand and said, "Very impressive, mate. I wrote this song, but your playing gave it a whole new feeling." The voice and accent sent chills through Miguel, almost like a shock. Are you really Ozzy Osbourne?" Miguel said, nearly dropping his guitar in surprise. Ozzy smiled, removed his sunglasses, and leaned forward so Miguel could see his face clearly. "Yes, that's me, mate. And you played my song very well. Truly excellent." Miguel's lips shook, tears filled his eyes. He stood speechless, face to face with his idol, the legend whose music helped him through the pain of losing his father. The crowd quickly thickened. People rushed over, lifting their phones to record the moment. "Is that really Ozzy?" "Yes, it's him. He's talking to the kid. Share this." But for Ozzy and Miguel, it felt like the world had disappeared. They were connected only through the music they shared. "What's your name, kid?" Ozzy asked, looking closely at Miguel's guitar. "Miguel Rodriguez, sir," he replied, still in disbelief, almost expecting to wake up and realize he imagined everything. "Miguel, how old are you? And how long have you been playing?" In a surprising gesture, Ozzy sat beside him on the sidewalk, ignoring the attention. A global rock icon and a young street musician now sat together as equals. "I'm 12 years old, Mr. Osbourne. I've been playing guitar for 2 years. When my father passed away, my uncle gave me this guitar. It's old, but—" Miguel gently ran his hand along it, clearly proud of it. Despite the scratches and wear, he kept playing. Ozzy nodded with understanding. "You're playing incredibly well for just 2 years, mate. When I was your age, I hadn't even touched a guitar. And I get it. Sometimes music is the only thing that keeps us steady in life." Ozzy gently took the guitar from the boy, tuned it, and played a few chords. The guitar was old and inexpensive, yet still produced a beautiful sound. Look, Miguel, playing guitar isn't only about knowing notes. You play from the heart, and you clearly have something strong in yours. I can feel it. Maybe it's your dad's memory. Tears filled Miguel's eyes. My father died in a work accident 2 years ago. My mom works 2 jobs. My siblings and I, we've had hard times. Then I found your music. Especially Mama, I'm Coming Home. When I listened to it, I imagined my dad coming back. The boy tried to stay calm, but his voice cracked. Every time I play that song, I feel like my dad hears me. Like he might return somehow. Ozzy's eyes welled up too. The song he wrote when Sharon was diagnosed with cancer, a song he had performed thousands of times, suddenly carried a new meaning. Knowing his lyrics had touched a child he'd never known deeply moved him. He had played in stadiums and released albums for years. But in that moment, looking at this boy on a Hollywood sidewalk, he truly understood the impact of his music. Miguel, music changes lives. It changed mine, and now I see it changed yours too. My songs feel like my children, and you're giving them new life. Ozzy took something from his pocket, a black guitar pick with his signature. Take this. Use it from now on. And remember, real musicians don't rely only on their gear, they play with their heart. Miguel held the pick with shaking hands, like it was something sacred. A crowd had gathered, people recording on their phones, even a local news team setting up. But for Ozzy and Miguel, it remained a personal moment shaped by music. You know, Ozzy continued, I always made music to connect with people. But after years of touring, recording, TV, sometimes I forget that connection. Today you reminded me. Thank you. Ozzy stood and addressed the crowd. This kid, Miguel Rodriguez, is a real talent. You'll hear his name again. He turned back. Come on, let's play Mama, I'm Coming Home together. I'll sing, you play. Deal? Miguel's eyes widened. Performing with Ozzy Osbourne in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard felt unreal, yet it was happening. He nodded, trying to steady his trembling hands. Then something unexpected happened. Miguel adjusted the guitar, took a breath, and started playing. The first notes excited the crowd. When Ozzy's voice joined in, everything seemed to pause. The rock legend sang with full emotion. Times have changed, and times are strange. Tourists, shop owners, and even drivers stopped to watch. Miguel's playing grew richer, as if Ozzy's presence awakened new confidence. The crowd kept growing. People called their friends, Come fast, Ozzy Osbourne is singing Mama, I'm Coming Home with a Street Kid. Tourist buses slowed, windows rolled down, but Ozzy and Miguel focused only on the music. When the song ended, applause erupted. Some people cried, moved by the unexpected moment. Ozzy placed his hand on Miguel's shoulder. This young man is a future rock star. One day you'll line up for his concerts. Cheers grew louder. Tears streamed down Miguel's face. It was the greatest day of his life. In front of cameras, Ozzy took out his manager Billy Morrison's business card, wrote his personal number on the back, and handed it to Miguel. Call me Monday. We need to talk. Talent like yours shouldn't stay on the streets. Miguel stared at it in disbelief. Thank you, Mr. Osbourne. This is the best day of my life. Ozzy smiled. Mine too, mate. I'm lucky to have fans like you. You give purpose to my music. 2 days later, Monday morning, with shaking hands, Miguel dialed the number. When Ozzy answered, the boy still struggled to believe what had happened.